Vettel found might be the key to a Ferrari win tomorrow.
Top four line up exactly the same way they lined up in Melbourne, aren't we? And I still think the Ferrari's a better race car.
Yeah.
I really do. I still think the back end of that car is more...
Vettel que vuelve a ganar. No lo hacía desde el Gran Premio de Gran Bretaña. Sus últimas participaciones ha sido en Alemania, abandono por accidente, por su error, y segunda posición en Hungría. Vuelve a ganar y Lewis Hamilton.
And away we go. It's a great start from Sebastian Vettel, and he is already alongside and ahead of both Mercedes. Nico Rosberg on the inside, Hamilton on the outside. Vettel takes the lead into the first corner. Hamilton's down in fourth, made that fifth. Goes through. Sebastian Vettel's going to come out, and guess what? Sebastian Vettel now ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton behind Verstappen, and we've got Vettel, Verstappen, Hamilton, and the Vettel got ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Yes, he has. The two rebels get very close together as well. On the inside, Max Verstappen's making.
Car needs to speed up because this is too slow.
Lewis is backing up the pack a little bit, and he went into him.
Right, he brake tested me. What the going on?
Vettel literally just came alongside me and turned in and hit me.
He might have lost a bit of front wing. Oh, Hamilton gets away well, so does Bottas, and he's wheel to wheel with Kimi Räikkönen. Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel now are level. Sebastian Vettel does manage to get ahead. Sebastian Vettel ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas breaks a little earlier, and he's getting swallowed up by Räikkönen. You can see Hamilton going down the main straight. Wehrlein stays ahead of Sainz. Magnussen's ahead of Grosjean. Here comes Sebastian Vettel. Lewis Hamilton's on the outside. This is going to be neck and neck going into turn one. Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton. Oh, and Hamilton gets forced off the track. Who's going to come out in front? It's Sebastian Vettel in front. Final corner for Lewis Hamilton. He's got DRS. Vettel blocks him off on the inside. Hamilton goes round the outside and swoops into the lead. Slipstream now, and will be challenging all the way to the Le Comte chicane. Bottas and Räikkönen come after that, and behind Verstappen, Ricciardo pulling out to the outside as well. Vettel challenging into the Le Comte. Vettel, Valtteri Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Räikkönen. And Sebastian Vettel's got a really good slipstream now, going down through Eau Rouge at 200 miles an hour. Hamilton leads. Vettel is right behind him. The gap is less than a car length. Sebastian Vettel pulls to one side. The championship leader is alongside Lewis Hamilton. The championship leader edges ahead. Hamilton fights back. Hamilton protects the lead. Kimi Räikkönen on the inside of Bottas. Ricciardo in third. Vettel will now commence the chase as we head towards the bus stop chicane, and we can go racing again. Hamilton leads this race then from Sebastian Vettel, Valtteri Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Räikkönen. And Sebastian Vettel's got a really good slipstream now, going down through Eau Rouge at 200 miles an hour. Hamilton leads. Vettel is right behind him. The gap is less than a car length. Sebastian Vettel pulls to one side. The championship leader is alongside Lewis Hamilton. The championship leader edges ahead. Hamilton fights back. Hamilton protects the lead. Kimi Räikkönen on the inside of Bottas. Ricciardo in third. Out away we go. Vettel gets away faster. Lewis Hamilton has to move over to cover him, but has he moved over enough? Sebastian Vettel has got the inside line here. Squeezes into the lead. Hamilton in second. Bottas round the outside of Ricciardo. Räikkönen getting in on the act as well. And Vettel leads down the hill, then the Ferrari.
That was the perfect getaway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not too many revs, just minimal wheel spin just to get yourself going. And yeah, they got as close as you'd want to be, didn't they?
He's half a second quicker on this lap, Hamilton. He's going down the inside, Hamilton. He's taking the lead of the Grand Prix as Lewis Hamilton. The lead has changed hands, and this is desperate, desperate stuff for Ferrari, who were rather hoping to be moving away from Hamilton, to be extending the advantage. And now Sebastian Vettel sees that silver arrow disappear off into the distance. Look, here comes Sebastian Vettel right now. And it is very close indeed. Hamilton will stay ahead of the Ferrari, but...
Really? Looked pretty casual for Mercedes, didn't it? But wow, that was so close because of Vettel's brilliant pace since he got back out on the racetrack.
Hamilton hot on his tail, and Max Verstappen tries to cover him off. Valtteri Bottas has Kimi Räikkönen for company. Verstappen breaks the toe, and now he's going wheel to wheel with Vettel. Hamilton's coming up on the outside as well. Vettel into turn one, Verstappen round the outside, Hamilton in third place. Verstappen and Vettel touch once again, but this time Vettel picks up a little bit of damage as his front wing there touches Verstappen, and there's more carbon fibre on the track.
Yes, it's an awful start for Vettel. He's got a lot of damage already. Will he have damaged the right rear tyre of Max Verstappen?
Valtteri Bottas in a second, and Hamilton's got problems. Hamilton's got a puncture on his right rear tyre. Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel coming together.
And this is good stuff from Verstappen, because it would be very easy to slot in there, and he's like, no, I'm coming round. They touch tyres. He's got look, it's amazing Verstappen didn't get a puncture. It's not at all amazing that Hamilton did.
Car is at the pit lane, isn't part of the racetrack. Sebastian Vettel is going to come out ahead of Lewis Hamilton here. Hamilton has to adhere to the virtual safety car time. Vettel didn't have to adhere to that because he's under the pit lane rules and regulations, and he is ahead now of Lewis Hamilton.
What just happened, guys? Why didn't you tell me Vettel was in the pits? What happened, guys?
We're just reviewing Lewis.
Was that my mistake, or was I supposed to be going quick between the safety car one line?
Negative.
And lap 18 to change onto his soft compound tyres. How long can Hamilton keep Vettel at bay? This is slowing Sebastian Vettel down all the time. He's stuck behind the Mercedes.
And he'll be party mode down the pit straight, whatever they like to call it, because the longer he can keep Vettel at bay, the better. It destroys Vettel's strategy. He's going to have to stop one more time than Hamilton. But look, he's in the slipstream. DRS, nothing Hamilton can do about that.
You can hear the cheers from the grandstands as Sebastian Vettel blasts past Lewis Hamilton and back into the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Anything can happen from here. Bottas will have to defend from Sebastian Vettel.
Gone early.
He's gone very early indeed. Has he caught them napping a little bit? Is it a double bluff?
Hamilton's going to get the toll.
Is it going to pay for him, or is it going to pay for Sebastian Vettel? Because look, on board with Lewis Hamilton now. He's catching up with the Ferrari as Bottas done his teammate a favour here. Vettel goes to block and now tries to gain onto Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton's going to dive down the inside, Raikkonen as well. Sebastian Vettel goes down the inside and he locks up, and that's going to cost him 1 and 2 and maybe 3 places. Valtteri Bottas leads from Hamilton. Raikkonen on the inside on Sebastian Vettel, and there goes Sebastian Vettel on Lewis Hamilton on the run towards turn 3. Vettel's on the inside of Hamilton, and the man who's second in the championship overtakes the championship leader on the track.
I don't get it, guys.
Lights ahead of the drivers at the British Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. Sebastian Vettel gets a flyer ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas on the inside as well. Bottas might have a better line through, and he's beaten Lewis Hamilton into turn 2. Kimi Räikkönen on the outside as they head down towards finish. Vettel from Bottas and Hamilton. Hamilton's gone round and he's clashed, and Kimi Räikkönen involved as well. That is massive disappointment for the British crowd. Verstappen ahead of Ricciardo, ahead of Spa. Hamilton gets away well. Perez as well, covering his teammate. Hamilton moves over to cover up Sebastian Vettel, and there's locking up in a crash, and Fernando Alonso goes over the top there of Charles Leclerc's Sauber. Also involved Nico Hülkenberg in the Renault. Hamilton down through Eau Rouge, continues to lead though, ahead of Sebastian Vettel, Esteban Ocon and Sergio Perez. Up to the top of Radion, and Magnussen has made up places at the start, but here comes Sebastian Vettel. He's neck and neck with Lewis Hamilton. Vettel is alongside and ahead. Ocon is also ahead. They're 4 abreast going into Le Combe. Vettel ahead of Hamilton, ahead of Perez, ahead of Ocon, ahead of Verstappen. Wow! Kimi Räikkönen gets away well, covers off Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton slipstreaming behind Vettel, who pulls out to the left-hand side of this shot. A damage from Brendan Hartley. Lock up there for Kimi Räikkönen, but he makes the first chicane. Hamilton and Vettel almost touch. Verstappen's on the inside of Bottas, and he's made up a place. Going over the grass, it's Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. It's Räikkönen from Vettel, from Hamilton, Verstappen. Bottas under pressure now from Grosjean.
Going to be horrible flat spots on the front tyres of Kimi Räikkönen. They're side by side. Look at Hamilton alongside Vettel. Oh, so close. He'll struggle to get round there.
They touch, Martin. Hamilton and Vettel has been spun round. Disaster for Sebastian Vettel at the start of this race.
Space through there, but Hamilton hung it around the outside. And somehow it's Vettel that went around and has lost some bodywork for good.
From Max Verstappen. Valtteri Bottas is in third, Sebastian Vettel fourth, then Hamilton, and Hamilton is coming back at him, and he's got a great toe. Oh, and he wanted to go down the inside, but there wasn't room, and at the last moment just had to back off.
How they didn't touch there, I don't know, but Hamilton's going for it again towards turn 4. Has he got enough on the Ferrari? Under braking to squeeze down the inside. Hamilton's done it! Lewis Hamilton gets past Sebastian. And it's lights out and away we go. Great start from Albon. Sainz has stalled on the grid. Sebastian Vettel tucks in behind Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton on the inside, trying to get it. Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen has been made contact. Bottas in 4th. Behind Bottas comes Verstappen. And we see them now on the Kemmel Straight. A long lead there for Charles Leclerc. Here comes Sebastian Vettel again. He's going wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton. The Ferrari is ahead and into 2nd place.
Leclerc then 6.3 seconds ahead now as these two fight over 2nd place, and Hamilton's much closer.
Here he comes, Lewis Hamilton. You can hear the cheers from some of the British fans waving the Hamilton flags. He pulls out alongside Sebastian Vettel. He pulls ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel, I think, really for the first time this afternoon, under pressure.
Hamilton with DRS behind, 1 second. Engine 1 is available.
He's just gone.
Oh, he's gone wide. DRS saved. Oh, DRS.
Copy.
Sebastian Vettel goes wide and Lewis Hamilton thought there was a gap. Vettel has been given a 5-second time penalty for an unsafe re-entry and forcing another driver off the track and win a race that he's dominated, Martin.
We've got 5.
Have given us some great excitement this afternoon. Make their way out of the final corner. Sebastian Vettel takes the checkered flag, but Lewis Hamilton wins the Canadian Grand Prix. It is